What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And together we are Last Week's Album, bringing you two opinions on the best new music. And in this episode, this will be episode 1 of 3, where we're recapping our experience at South by Southwest, which we just finished off. And we have the wristbands to prove, right, Derek?
Wristbands to prove.
Sweet. So we're going to recap 3 shows here, On and On, The Districts, and Dan Mangan Blacksmith. And we'll start with On and On, who we saw at 5 p.m. on Friday at Clive on Rainy Street. And if you're not familiar with On and On, they're a Minneapolis trio whose 2013 debut, Give In, made quite the name for them and their haunting, brooding sound. And it was downpouring, raining appropriately on Rainy Street when we saw them. So Derek, tell us what you thought about the set.
My first overall impression was kudos to the electrical crew at Clive there on Rainy dealing with the inclement weather. And, you know, things sounded good and no one got electrocuted. So, you know, all in all, it was great. Yeah, as you mentioned, they're previously known for kind of dark, brooding sound, but they played a lot of stuff off a forthcoming album, which sounded a lot more poppy in comparison to some of their earlier stuff. Although some of the new stuff did sound really pretty good. I thought it kind of reminded me of like early Shout Out Louds, kind of that indie rock, poppy type sound. One song, Drifter, is a new one that I liked as well. Then there was this one about being on a dance floor, and I really didn't care for that one.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that part. That was my least favorite part of the set. But overall, I thought it was really great. They played the classics like Ghost in every song, along with some new unreleased material that you mentioned, Derek. They dealt very well with the sort of tough crowd. Everyone was a little bit miserable, and they were very thankful for everyone that sort of made it out. Fortunately, Derek and I grabbed some ponchos, so we were able to stay dry. But yeah, they fed off the energy of the crowd really, really well. Those dedicated fans who went out despite the really bad weather there on Friday. So it was worth seeing. You should definitely check out On and On, and keep an ear out for their second album, which is supposed to drop this summer in 2015. All right, next up, we're going to talk about The Districts, right, Derek?
Yeah, that we are. The Districts, we saw them later on Friday evening at Stubbs, kind of early evening-ish, and the Districts actually, they just released their sophomore album, A Flourish and a Spoil, which Kevin and I reviewed here not long ago at all. They're based out of Philadelphia. Their first album was kind of more folksy sounding-ish, and they kind of let loose on this new album. And so, Kevin, did that translate at all to the show? What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought these guys came out swinging, just rocking hard right from the start. Very evident of their newer sound, I guess you could say, on the last album. And for me, I think they were the best opener, if you will, of the whole festival. Just like I said, coming out strong and keeping it going full throttle. Never let the energy down. Played a lively, ferocious set. They got the crowd really going. It was still a little drizzly at this point, but people were in the mood to rock, and the Districts definitely took us there. So yeah, I thought they were amazing. You should definitely go see these guys live if you got the chance.
Definitely, Kevin, I totally agree with you. You know, a lot of the songs off the new album they played, Fourth and Roebling, Peaches, Chlorine, even Suburban Smell, I really enjoyed how they threw them down. Just really a joy to watch. Totally agree with you there. And so that brings us to the part 3 of the conclusion of our overall part 1 of 3. Dan Mangan Blacksmith. Kevin, why don't you give us the setup here?
Yeah, so we saw this show at midnight that night on Friday at Maggie May's downstairs. And if you're not familiar with Dan Mangan or don't remember seeing our review, you should go watch that later. But he is an award-winning Canadian singer-songwriter and just released his 4th album not too long ago called Club Meds. I believe that was in January. It was nice. We were in line, and we were waiting in line, and some guy came back and asked who we were waiting for, and we said Dan Mangan, and he took us right to the front, and we walked right in. So really appreciate that friendly favor. I believe he was somehow record label exec or involved with the band in some way. But yeah, I thought this was just an example of superb sound and musicianship. One of the really tighter sets that I think we saw The guitar player's strap broke right before he had to rock out on guitar, and he played it like a pro without the strap anyway, which is really impressive. And yeah, like I said, just great sound and musicianship. What did you think, Derek?
Kevin, I totally agree. Yeah, I thought, the venue itself being kind of the smaller, being downstairs, indoors there at Maggie Mae's, really, played well to their strengths. I totally thought, just kind of going back to our review of their album, we remarked on kind of the overall complexity, musicianship that was there. And it was really cool to see that come through in the live show. There was a lot of stuff going on, but the band, just played together fantastically, even when guitar straps broke, which that was amazing how he just was not fazed at all by that. And this also followed their first song. He had a violin bow that he was playing, all Zeppelin on it, and so then later, the guitar strap near Catastrophe handles like pro. So that was really a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, it was a great set.
Yeah, totally agree. So yeah, there you have it. There's our first South by Southwest recap for you guys. On and on, the districts and Dan Mangan and Blacksmith. I would highly recommend that you go see all of them live. What do you think, Derek?
Totally agree.
Yeah, so, and I believe they're all touring now, so check them out if you get the chance. And next up, we've got 2 more episodes of South by Recaps. And the first one up is about a really exciting show from the Yoppers. So check that out coming up next. As always, I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And we are last week's album, 2 opinions on the best new music. See you next time.